if I told you that one game could shatter Brisbane's top four dream? That a single derby clash could flip the NRL finals race on its head? And what if I also told you that the Canberra Raiders, a team many had written off, might be sitting on a secret weapon, hidden in plain sight, that could catapult them to a shock title run? Stay tuned, because tonight, we're diving deep into the epic Cowboys vs Broncos showdown and Ricky Stuart's blueprint that could just deliver Canberra one of the most unlikely premierships in NRL history. But before we get into it, don't forget, if you love footy breakdowns, hard-hitting analysis, and behind-the-scenes insights, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and join the conversation down below. This is Aussie NRL Updates, where we bring the heat, the drama, and the truth in rugby league. This isn't just another round clash. This is Queensland pride, bragging rights, and for the Broncos, it's about survival in the top four. Lose here, and their finals destiny slips out of their own hands. The Broncos, once seen as premiership heavyweights earlier in the season, have been wobbling. Injuries, inconsistency, and some defensive lapses at crucial times have left their fans nervous. And now, the Cowboys smell blood in the water. North Queensland knows this rivalry isn't just about points on the ladder, it's about sending a message. Beating Brisbane at this stage of the season doesn't just end their top four hopes, it plants a psychological dagger heading into finals. But here's the twist, the Cowboys themselves have had an up-and-down campaign. One week they're hammering opponents with blistering attack, the next they're leaking points and looking lost. So, which Cowboys will turn up on Derby Day? The disciplined, aggressive side that stunned the Storm earlier this year, or the inconsistent one that falls asleep at crucial moments? For Brisbane, everything comes down to balance. Payne Haas has been immense in the middle, carrying his side with monster meters and relentless effort. But the burden is heavy. Without the same dominance around him, can Haas keep the engine running? Then there's Adam Reynolds. The general. The organizer. The man who can settle nerves with a perfectly weighted kick or spark panic with a short ball. But here's the cliffhanger, Reynolds is playing under the shadow of injuries and constant speculation about his durability. If he's not firing, if he's even slightly off, the Broncos' attack looks flat, predictable, and easier to contain. The Cowboys know this. They'll send traffic at him all night. They'll test his body, his resolve, his leadership. If Reynolds cracks, so could Brisbane's finals dream. Derbies are not just about tactics. They're about emotion. The Cowboys have felt disrespected. Overshadowed by Brisbane's media hype, written off as pretenders. That emotional fire, under the lights, can ignite something special. Players like Valentine Holmes and Scott Drinkwater thrive in chaos. When the game is on the line, they want the ball. And let's not forget Jeremiah Nanai, one of the most dangerous edge forwards in the competition. If he spots a mismatch, if the Broncos' defensive line drifts for even a second, he'll pounce. His ability to turn nothing into a try could break Brisbane hearts. So here's the million-dollar question, can the Cowboys channel that emotion into discipline? Or will the Derby pressure cause errors that gift Brisbane the game? Here's where things get truly dramatic. If the Broncos lose, they don't just drop points, they open the door for rivals like Melbourne, Penrith, and even the Raiders to leapfrog them in the race for a top four spot. And if they miss the double chance in finals, history tells us the task becomes near impossible. Only a handful of teams have ever won the premiership from outside the top four. Lose here, and Brisbane may be staring down that brutal reality. On the flip side, if the Cowboys win, they reinsert themselves into finals contention, adding chaos to an already unpredictable season. It's the ultimate sliding doors moment, one game shaping the destiny of two clubs. You're watching Aussie NRL Updates, where we break down the biggest storylines, the wildest twists, and the truth behind the headlines. Stick around, because in the second half of this video we're diving into Ricky Stuart's Raiders and the one tactical edge that could shock the NRL finals. Let's shift gears. While the spotlight burns bright on the Broncos and Cowboys, there's a green machine quietly rolling under the radar, the Canberra Raiders. For much of the season, the critics have hammered them. Too slow. Not enough attacking flair. Can't compete with the heavyweights. But here's where things get interesting. Ricky Stuart doesn't care about pretty footy. He doesn't care about flashy stats. What he cares about is timing, peaking at the right moment. And history has shown the Raiders know how to scrap. They know how to drag opponents into the mud, into ugly, grinding contests, and more often than not, they win them. Ricky Stuart's secret? It's not just toughness. It's the ability to fuse grit with just enough magic. Think about it, players like Jack Whiten, Jamal Fogarty, and Jordan Rapana might not be considered the absolute elite, but in a finals environment, with the season on the line, they can produce something out of nothing. And then there's Joseph Tapine, the enforcer. He sets the tone with bruising carries and a never-say-die attitude. Combine that with Hudson Young's relentless work ethic on the edge, and suddenly you have a pack that no team enjoys facing. The Raiders don't need to blow you off the park. They just need to drag you into their kind of game, slow, gritty, suffocating. And in finals footy, that style wins. Here's the twist, Ricky Stuart's real weapon might not even be his current stars. It could be his bench and the tactical rotations his. Planning for finals. In recent weeks, Stuart has toyed with his interchange in ways that suggest he's preparing a surprise strategy. Impact forwards coming on earlier than expected. Utility backs slotting into unusual roles.